Boxing fans. So the heavyweight division is now bustling with action. The last year was summarized with the great upset pulled off by Fury, who defeated Klitschko. And this year already started with some good fights as well for championship fights. On January 16, we will see two good fights. It's Wilder will be fighting Szpilka for the WBC title, and on the same undercard it's going to be Glazkov versus Martin fighting for the IBF title, which was stripped from Fury. Now, a regular WBA champ, Ruslan Shagaev from Russia, will fight Lucas Browne on March the 5th, which is incidentally the day when the Soviet dictator Joseph Stalin died in 1953. It was March the 5th. So, and this fight will take place in Russia and in the city of Grozny, which happened to be the capital of the Chechen Republic as well. So let's talk about the challenger first. Lucas Big Daddy Browne. He has E at the end of his last name, so I'm not sure how to call him, Brown or Brownie. How do we call him? Well, I prefer him Brownie because I love brownies. I eat them every day. So, he's a big, mean-looking Australian. Oh, Australia. It's a country of Steve the Croc Hunter, as everyone knows, right? And then country of ostriches, of kangaroo, the crocs, and what else? Oh yeah, the boomerang. So, you know, I perceive people spiritually mostly, and to me, every person, it's first of all, I see his spiritual content, and to me, Brownie is a real Australian, and I like his sense of humor. I like the way he sang the song. He transformed the Holy Night into Violent Night, predicting his knockout against Shagaev. I laughed when I heard this song. Everyone can see it. It's on YouTube, by the way. And so, to me, he is a true Australian, and by the spirit Australians, to me, somewhere like a combo, somewhere in between the Russians, Irish, with a touch of British. Just a touch. Yeah, so originally he was a martial art fighter who turned boxer professionally. He started fighting in 2009, so it's already 7 years, so quite a few years already, right? He's undefeated. He's got 23 fights, all 23 wins, 20 of them by KO, so he is a pop. Though I must say that his opponents were not the best, far from the best, and so I wish his trainers, they would pick up for him a couple of credible opponents at least to make him properly propped up for this fight. I don't believe he's quite ready with his, judging by his opponents, though he had in his record the victory over James Toney. He fought James Toney and he beat him, though I should say probably it was a shadow of James Toney, and 3 years ago when Toney was far past his heyday. So for Brownie to fight skillful and highly experienced Shagaev, and especially considering that Shagaev is a lefty, which takes a total different set of skills to fight a lefty, so it could be a very high, tall order for Browne to shine in this fight. Maybe someone of you saw him fighting a lefty. I never saw him fighting a lefty, so we cannot even judge his readiness for Shagaev by his previous fights. Personally, maybe you saw a lefty. I didn't see him fighting a lefty, and which might be very difficult for some people to do. So what Browne should do in this fight in order to shine? Well, considering that he is about 5 inches taller than Shagaev, obviously has a longer reach. So, and considering that Shagaev, he likes to go and mix it up in a short distance, by all means, Big Daddy Browne, he should keep Shagaev at the long range by employing his jabs. He keep it very busy, his jabs, to throw lots of jabs, all kind of jabs, just to keep Shagaev at the right distance. And then annoy Shagaev, and then provoking him, and then when Shagaev would be leaping from the distance with the punch on him, then he could counter his, him with his uppercuts or crosses and straight rights, and hopefully, catch him on that, which is possible, though it wouldn't be easy to catch for him because he's slower than Shagaev. And once you're slower, then it becomes a very tough task. He also could constantly circle to his left in order to avoid Shagaev's strong left hand. And if he manages to fight smart and move fast, as Australian shepherds do, then he has a chance of a puncher, but very, very slim chance. But in order to increase his chance, he must do something very, very special that only Australians can do. So what the hell is that? To bring a kangaroo in a fight? No, it's too conspicuous. He must take a boomerang, yeah. So he must take his kid, daughter, son, and put in a front row and make a boomerang made out of plexiglass, which means transparent. And at the time when Shagaev would be giving him a hard time, he would give a nod to his son, and his son would go pew from behind and hit Shagaev, and then Daddy would connect him and finish up the fight. So that would be 100% kaboom, done. If Ruslan Shagaev, he's a current so-called regular WBA. As you know, Fury is a super WBA champ. And thinking about these, subdivisions, the regular, silver, super champions, it gives me this weird perception that World Boxing Organization, all of them, including WBC, IBF, WBA, they have those, I would say, sadomasochistic propensities. The story about the titles, being chopped and dismembered and sold like prostitutes to by the serial killers. And of course, you understand that sanctioning fee probably, and that's what drips for them and makes them to do for those WBC sanctioning bodies and WBA, IBF. But to me it looks more like a racket, but that's all politics. Well, back to Shagaev. He comes from Russia, as everyone knows, and specifically from Republic of Chechnya, which is on a Caucasus mountain, a small republic. He's also not a spring chicken anymore. He's 37, and Browne is 36, so they're about the same age. He has 37 fights, 34 wins, and 24 by knockout, so he has quite a pop in his hands, and he can knock you out with both hands, left or right, but the mostly power in his left hand. He has 2 losses. One loss was in 2000, I believe, 9. No, it wasn't 9. No, it was 9. He lost to Povetkin. He decision, and he lost also. He could withstand only 9 rounds against Vladimir Klitschko, when Vladimir Klitschko was still a fresh guy. Shagaev, he is a kind of small guy for the heavyweight. He is called White Mike Tyson. He's about the same stature and height, and lots of physical aggression. He's light-footed, but he does not move quite good enough on his feet, even though he's movable. He's standing mostly back and forth. He doesn't move to the sides too much. I wish he would do, then he would be more successful, and he might have won that fight against Povetkin if he would do that. His hands are faster than the hands of Browne, so he has advantage with that. So what he should do in order to beat Browne? Shagaev must give Browne a lot of angles by moving left and right, not back and forth, but left and right, and make Big Daddy to move around, awkwardly like a big bear, and punish him from the sides. And then he would be very, very effective. And I think that he can win convincingly this fight by decision or even stoppage, probably somewhere in middle rounds. Yeah. So now let's talk about January 16 Wilder-Szpilka a little bit. So actually I did already a prediction a week ago, so you're welcome to watch my video. But I might say that Wilder is expected to win, but anything can happen, Upsets are happening all the times. So we already saw Fury upsetting Klitschko. That's what boxing is all about. No matter who you are, where you're from, you always have a chance, always, against anybody. This news came that IBF was stripped from Fury, and that's what, for this stripped IBF, title will be fighting Charles Martin and Glazkov on the undercard with Wilder on January 16. Martin, I saw just one of his fights, and he has 22 wins, undefeated, 0 losses, and he's a lefty. He's a big and athletic guy, but he does not move too well, and he's not awfully fast, and he is predictable. He doesn't move to the sides too much. All the guys he fought, they're mostly bums, so he didn't prove himself really. So he has lots of knockouts, but those guys were no more dangerous than punching bags. So what about Glazkov? Glazkov, he's a well-skilled fighter. He has 22 fights, 21 wins, 1 was a draw, and 13 knockouts. So he has some pop, though he doesn't hit too hard. And he's far more experienced than Martin. He has an extensive amateur career. He was a bronze medalist on 2008 Olympic Games. And in his record there are 2 very impressive wins by decision over Cunningham and Adamek. He's skilled, but he doesn't do anything fancy. He's also, I wouldn't say he's predictable, because he's very methodical, and he's not fast, but he's pretty fast, and he has pretty good timing, and he has pop in both hands. But he never comes for an early knockout. It takes him time before he can develop his aggression and then take care of the later rounds, or he can just go distance, enjoying his victory on points. And the winner of any of these belts, whether Glazkov or most likely Wilder versus Szpilka, most likely will be facing Alexander Povetkin sometime probably in May 2016. So maybe we should say a few words about the rematch. Klitschko is going to be fighting a rematch versus Fury. That's why Fury was stripped from his IBF. I was thinking about it, and I wasn't sure whether IBF did the right thing or wrong thing. I cannot judge on that. But Vladimir Klitschko will be, if he wins, most likely he should win, but he'll get back only 2 of his belts. No more IBF. If he wants IBF, he has to fight a separate fight for that. In the last fight, it's interesting. I saw his fight against Fury. I saw him physically present on the ring, but psychologically he was absent. It wasn't Vladimir. If I would believe in some myth, I would think that someone gave him some some medicine that he was absent-minded. I don't know what was the cause of it, and maybe because he has no good trainer. His Jonathan Banks, he's more over probably over of a boxing, maybe, mostly sparring with him, but I doubt Banks can teach him something new. Whatever was, Manny Stewart taught him, I don't believe he learned anything new. At least, I never saw him fighting, Klitschko does know how to hit the body. He does know what the liver is. So if he would know that, he would be far more successful, and probably he would be still undefeated. But he does not hit the body, and I hope he will come back in a good psychological shape in his rematch. Though honestly, it doesn't matter if he wins or loses. I have no interest to see that fight. For some reason, it gives me like deja vu sensation. It was like Roy Jones again. Roy Jones, he in his best time before Anthony Tarver knocked him out, he was full of himself. He thought probably boxers who think that the shit doesn't stink anymore. It's very difficult for a trainer to train the guy like this. How can you train him? The guy, he knows everything about everything. He, like Roy Jones, he was playing basketball. He was singing rap before the fight. Then he comes in, he gets knocked out, and then after that, he got knocked out by Johnson, and then that Russian guy, what's his name, Denis Lebedev, knocked him out, and then just a couple of weeks ago, again, it was Macarinelli. So many times he was knocked out already, yeah, but he's still coming and coming for more. I think he should stop. And in this sense about Klitschko, he should retire probably after this. If he lose or win this rematch, he should just retire. That's enough. He did enough in this sport. So and this division is loaded, and so now there are lots of guys who are standing in line. As we already said, Alexander Povetkin probably fighting next in May with any of those victors. Also there is Anthony Joshua, Brian Jennings, and Berman Stivernes should come back strong. I believe he will come back soon. And then a few more younger guys coming up strong. So it should be interesting, rather interesting heavyweight division again. So let's live long enough to those days to watch those wonderful fights and see for ourselves what happens, and let the best man wins. Cheers.